Good morning, good morning. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I wanted to do a live on apologies today, um, because my 3-year-old bit my 5-year-old at a family party. So it was within our own family. We were at a family party, and my 3-year-old, unobserved by myself or any other adult, um, got frustrated and bit her brother. Um, so she bit him on his arm, and he came in and was upset and showed me his arm and said that his little sister had bit him. And I spoke to him and checked his arm was okay, and I found out what had happened from his point of view. Then she came out, and I asked him to go to his dad and have the rest of his cuddle with his dad. And I spoke to her, and I actually bristled a little bit because I didn't force an apology from my 3-year-old. I didn't ask her to apologise. I suggested it might be a nice idea if she did, but she didn't want to. And I don't know the situation that led her to bite him. So I didn't want to force her to do something against her will. I also didn't want her to apologise because I made her do it. I wanted, if she was going to apologise, I wanted her to apologise because she thought it was the right thing to do. And I've been thinking about that and the fact that I bristled, because we hear parents all the time saying, oh, say sorry. Say sorry. You have to say sorry. You've done something wrong. You say sorry. You've bit that person. You say sorry. You stole that toy. You say sorry. And what we tend to hear from the child is then sorry. And they kind of spit the word sorry at the person, if that makes sense. So it doesn't feel like a genuine apology. Now, if I'm upset over something that someone's done to me and someone um, gives me an ingenuine apology, I'm going to notice that that's not a real apology, and I'm going to feel that, and I'm not going to trust that person. I'm not going to trust that they're actually sorry for what they've done. If children are complete BS monitors on us, so if we're doing something that's not genuine for them, they're going to pick up on that. If we're trying to pretend that everything's okay, they pick up on that. They pick up on whether someone's apologising for real, or whether they're just paying lip service to it. And I don't want my children to pay lip service to an apology. I don't want my 3-year-old to go around biting people either, but that's a different thing to tackle. So one of the ways in which I help my children understand apology is to explain to them that in this moment, what you've done is wrong. You Can you tell me what's happened? So I try and hear it from both sides. So did you bite your brother? Would be a leading question. So I try and go with, can you tell me what happened? And when we get their response, it was, oh, well, he sat on my chair. And did you ask him to move? Yes, I asked him to move, and he didn't move. So I was upset because he didn't move. And being 3, she doesn't have much negotiation. She doesn't have much strength. So she's gone for something that has made sense to her, that this will make him move. Not the best thing to choose, but to her, I can see that if she thought it was her chair and she was sat on it, and he's not moved when she's asked him to. She's gone for something that will make him move. Um, so we'll deal with the biting at a later stage, but I've gone with, well, it's not right to bite your brother. He's actually got a mark on his arm and he's come out and he's been crying to me. So this would be a really good opportunity for you to say sorry. Do you feel like saying sorry to your brother? And her response was no. So I just sort of went, okay then. Well, he might not want to play with you. He might not feel that he can trust you not to do that again. But if you're not ready to apologise, then that's fine. And I sort of left it at that. When we were outside of the family environment, on our way home, we spoke about it again, and she still wasn't ready to apologise. And when I'm cross about things, when I'm mad with someone, or when I have an apology to make, I'm not always ready to do that in the moment. Sometimes I have to get over my own shame of, oh, I've done something wrong, and I have to calm down and process what it meant for me. And I'm a nice person, and I try and do everything to be helpful towards people, but sometimes I get it wrong, and sometimes an apology is deserved from me. But it's quite a shame of evoking thing to do to say sorry to someone. So it can be really difficult to actually pick yourself up and say, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that. The words that I use when I apologise are different every single time. So there isn't a formula that I use particularly, but one of the things that I like is to say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. In the future, I feel really bad that you're upset by my actions or you got hurt by my actions. It makes me feel upset because I didn't mean for that to happen. And in the future, I will try and control my emotions, or I will try and breathe before I think before I act, or even how can I make it up to you? And so to come back to people and give them the opportunity to tell you how you can make it better. That's sometimes a nice way to apologise. It's forcing a child to apologise means that they're just spitting it out, and it's kind of grouped in the same place as forcing sharing. I quite like my new Porsche car. I want to drive my Porsche car around everywhere. If someone came up to me and said, I want to share your Porsche car, then yeah, I'm going to go, no, it's mine. I don't want to share my new toy. This is my new toy. So forcing apologies and forcing sharing is not always the right thing to do, even though as parents we want our children to share, we want them to apologize, and we want them to play nicely with people. That sometimes it's about standing back and thinking about it from a different point of view. So I don't know if this has resonated or made anyone think. If anyone has thought any differently, if they've asked their child to apologise and noticed that they've had this spitting, venomous apology given out, they don't tend to understand the same way that we do. So it's more about helping them understand why that person was upset. So with my daughter, we came back to, do you remember when the baby at the childminders bit you the other week? And how did that feel on your arm? And what did you do? So it's about helping them remember similar situations, and that they can then empathize with how the person they've hurt might feel. So let me know if this has been any use for you. I've really enjoyed thinking about why I bristled. Because normally I'm really secure, but I think it was just that it was such a busy environment with all of these well-established parents that have been parenting for 30, 40 years all around me. And even though I know it's the right thing not to force that apology, I still bristled and felt like, oh, perhaps I should make her apologise in front of these other people. And that would just completely undo any natural apology from her. So enjoy your Monday, I think it is. Um, I've got more work to get on with. I was supposed to be speaking to someone about phobias earlier today, so I need to chase up what's happened with that. And yeah, look forward to hearing your comments around if you've ever been forced to give an apology, or whether you've asked your child to apologise and now you're thinking about it slightly different. If you give me any feedback, that would be lovely. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye.